Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to our Let's Meditate for 21 Days program, Going Deeper, session number 2. My name is Sylvia, and I'm happy to be your MC tonight, coming to you from Northern Florida. Like every program, we'll start tonight with a foot soak. Don't worry if you don't have everything. Just take this time now to get a bucket, fill it with lukewarm water, a handful of salt, have a paper towel or a cloth towel, and a jug of fresh water to rinse your feet off into after the foot soak. On Tuesday, we explored how the left Vishuddhi is affected when we feel guilt, and that robs us of our energy. Today, our program focuses on our right Vishuddhi. If you are new or you have missed any classes, we have recordings on our website, which you'll find in the chat on our website, which the link will be put in the chat for you. Or you can request one-on-one breakout rooms after the session, which is a wonderful way to help us go deeper and get updated. So with that, let's introduce our presenters for this evening. We have Andrei, Heidi, and Priyanka, our musician. So we'd love for you to introduce yourselves. Let's go alphabetically. Andrei, can you start us off, please?
Good evening, everybody. Very nice to meet you all again. We live in Canada, in the middle of Canada, on the prairies, and we hail from Romania with some stops in between. We've been doing this for a couple of decades, and we're enjoying so much with all of you every evening.
Thank you, Andrei. Heidi, please introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Heidi. I have been practicing Sahaja Yoga for almost 30 years. And now I've relocated with my husband to the Catskill Mountains in New York, where we have opened an art center and inn. So you're welcome anytime.
Welcome, Heidi. Thank you. That must keep you busy.
Oh, yes.
And Priyanka, you're our musician tonight. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Priyanka Chugh, and I'm joining from Virginia. I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga since I was a schoolgirl. It's been almost 22 years now. A lot of experiences. It's been wonderful to join these sessions. I've met some of you, and I would love to share some part of the thing that I learned in Sahaja Yoga is the singing part. So very, very happy to join you all tonight.
We're looking forward to the whole program. And Heidi, you can start us off now. I think everybody's probably ready for their foot soak.
Okay, let's put our feet in your foot soak, if you haven't already, and just begin to let everything relax. We're going to be working on the Right Vishuddhi. And as Sylvia mentioned in the last session, we worked on the Left Vishuddhi. So this is really how we can be kind and loving and forgiving to ourselves on the left side. And on the right side, how we can be kind and loving and forgiving towards each other. So in the center between these two sides of the Vishuddhi chakra is the heart. And something I really want to share is that I've been discovering that the Vishuddhi is nothing but like a passageway from the heart up to the brain, and then uniting there with the same force and power of love that created us. So it's really important in the Right Vishuddhi, when we're talking about our relationships to others, that it comes from the heart. So a couple of things that might catch us up in on the Right Vishuddhi is any kind of aggression that comes really basically from our ego and the need to sort of push ourselves forward. And then a little more subtle on, that comes maybe more from the left side, from not taking care of ourselves enough, feel a little insecure. So we might feel like we have to put on some kind of artificial mask. And we all know that we do that to a certain extent to survive. But we find the more we meditate, the more it just starts to melt away. And for instance, I've always been, very sweet and nice. And when I came into Sahaja Yoga and started meditating, I realized that, I had really taken on more sweet and nice than I really needed. I was trying to please, and I really wasn't just allowing this natural, just loving, kindness, which is the foundation of being a human being, to rise up. And through all the years, it's been rising up more and more. I've been able to just be more and more myself and just genuinely allow this center to become very powerful. And now more than ever, with all the divisions that we have in our culture and in our politics and in the world, we need to take responsibility. A lot of this Right Vishuddhi is really taking responsibility for our collectivity and actively practicing kindness. So this is really the most important thing. We need to be kind to ourselves, and then we can be kind to others. And so now when we go into the meditation, we also need to feel that sense of responsibility towards others and towards ourselves. So the meditation, all the things we do for ourselves are so that we can take responsibility and bring our attention into alignment, into our heart, into a very relaxed and genuine place of desiring to connect to this divine, loving, mothering energy that rises up the spine and out the top of our head. And then the only other thing I want to say is that since this Vishuddhi is our collectivity, we discover it more and more as we discover ourselves. And the deeper we go into becoming ourselves, into letting go of that aggression, letting go of the artificiality, because we are truly giving to ourselves. We are nurturing our spirit. As we let go of that, we become more ourselves. We discover the collectivity is in there too. There's really no separation between the two. And Shri Mataji always talks about this beautiful thing that happens, which is that the drop becomes the ocean. And it's through that love that we will transform the world, that will bring it back from the precipice that we have driven ourselves to. And Mataji talks about it in the talk, all the constructs that we have made as human beings, because we haven't had this awareness, this consciousness. But now we all have it. So as we change ourselves, we will change the world. So you can stay in your foot soak now and just close your eyes. Let's put both hands over the center heart again, because it's this heart that's going to inform our Vishuddhi, our center of collectivity, and also the witnessing power of this center as we open our heart more and more, as we deepen in our yoga, in our meditations. We find that we can create space between our thoughts while we're meditating. And then when we're walking in the world, we create the space between all the dramas that we see. And we just look from the sanctity of our spirit, which resides in the heart. And it gives us so much comfort and enjoyment as we watch the play. So as we breathe into the heart, let it soften. Relax the shoulders. You can float the hands down now on our lap. You can just make a few little adjustments to our physical body by bringing the Muladhara chakra, which is the base chakra at the bottom of the spine, the sacrum bone housed there, ever so slightly forward. It's our innocence and playfulness begins there, so we can just bring it forward just a little and see how that allows the heart to lift a little and the shoulders to kind of open and fall back. And again, being really soft and supple in the heart, allowing the energy to rise through to our throat and letting it be very easy and light. And then bringing the Sahasrara, the seventh chakra, which was open when we were babies, the soft spot at the top of our head, bringing that over the heart, over Muladhara, just very subtly in our attention, being aware of creating space and lightness in our bodies so we can ask the energy to rise without any hindrance. And now take a few very sweet and gentle breaths all the way from Muladhara through the heart and to the top of the head. Everything else just relaxes. And watch that breath without any effort. Watch the rising of the divine mothering energy. Softening into it. Any thoughts come up, you can just say, I forgive. I forgive everyone. I forgive everything. And I forgive myself. And see how that softens the heart and the shoulders and lengthens the whole neck area. The gentle flow of vibrations. As your heart relaxes, the shoulders relax, the hands relax, and the palms open. Just see how the hands are such beautiful receptors for this divine energy. Just flowing up from within us, rising out the top of the head. And then also flowing down onto the hands as we become aware of the Paramachatanya, such a beautiful Sanskrit word meaning the all-pervading power, divine love. So let's take our two hands now, and the way we place them over the center heart, one over the other, place them around the throat very gently. And we can ask this rising energy, please show me the way kindness towards myself, and towards others. Please let me take responsibility for myself right now in this meditation. Surrendering and allowing the energy to rise through my heart and enlighten my brain and connect me to the Paramachatanya. And let me take responsibility for my actions as I move into the world in my daily life. Let them be filled with kindness and love and sincerity. Slowly let the hands float down the lap and bring attention fully to the top of the head, a few inches above. Born. Surrender. Soften inward. Nice breath. And very gently, staying in the meditative state. Open your eyes, and we can rinse our feet in preparation for the talk by Shri Mataji, followed by some lovely music by Priyanka. So let's rinse our feet. Just place your foot soak bucket aside. And maybe just loosen the shoulders and be ready to receive the precious words, the loving and kind and powerful words of Shri Mataji.
When he raised his head towards the ether, towards the sky, then this Vishuddhi chakra developed into a different dimension. And people started developing the ego and superego. Superego was already developed, but ego developed in such a way that it started suppressing the superego. That's how you have got conditionings on one side of the Vishuddhi and ego on the other side. When I told you the other day that you give up your free will, in the sense that when you raised your head, you did it through your free will with your power of growing that you had as animals. After that, now you have reached to the human level, and to rise above the human level now, you have to do is to seek your complete freedom. And for that, Vishuddhi chakra is going to help you along. On this Vishuddhi chakra, we have to really pay full attention. It is such a complicated chakra. It has all the vowels of a Devanagari script emitting out of the sound of the Shakti that is passing through it, of the Kundalini that is passing through it. So all the vowels are heard on these chakras. These vowels are, as you know, 16 in number. Without the vowel in the Devanagari, you cannot write anything. Vowels are the sustenance, are the power that supports every consonant. So it's very important that our vowels have to be fully nourished and respected. The movement of the neck, as you have seen, in all international life, if you see, everybody has practically the same. Even those who cannot hear, those who do not understand your language, you can nod like this, you can say no like this. Everyone understands this is yes or no. In some particular area, of course, they have little different type of nodding. But too much of nodding of head is not a very good sign. Now, I've seen people in the West, if you tell them something to show that they have appreciated it, they'll go on for quite some time. That's not necessary. Just have to say, all right, or I've understood it. That's all. You have to use your voice instead of nodding like this all the time. It's very bad, very, very bad for the Vishuddhi chakra. Or some of them are the other way around. That whatever it is, they'll put up their head like this. And they won't talk properly. They will not say a word, they'll just keep quiet. You may go on pinching them, doing anything, they won't budge. This kind of personality is also very much detrimental to the growth of their evolution. Apart from that, their Vishuddhi becomes a very big problem. Because of Vishuddhi, there are so many problems. Like angina, you develop because of Vishuddhi. You develop spondylitis because of Vishuddhi. Sometimes people lose their voices completely. Sometimes they have all the time coughing. And there are so many physical problems out of Vishuddhi because, as I said, it's a very, very complicated center. It looks after your ear, nose, throat, all the 16 subplexuses are there, which are looked after by the center. But above all is the center of discrimination. The center of discrimination only comes when you are free people. Till you are biased, till you have your own concepts, you cannot be discrete. And that's the one point where one must understand that to achieve your complete freedom, you have to get your Vishuddhi chakra cleared out. First and foremost thing is that we must speak in a sweet manner. Speak to someone in a sweet manner, not artificially, but sweetly. Speak in a manner that another person likes it. Satyam vadet, priyam vadet. Speak the truth. Don't tell the lies. If you go on telling lies, after some time, even if you tell the truth, it will become a lie. But if you are telling the truth, that even if you tell a lie, it becomes the truth. Nothing is definite about Vishuddhi. Whatever may be the expression of a person may look very innocent. Because that's the thing you can do with your Vishuddhi. You are free because you have raised your head. At this point you have achieved this kind of a special aptitude that you can deceive yourself and you can deceive others. Some people look extremely innocent on the face. They may look to be very simple people, but may turn out to be horrid. Some people may look to be idiotic, but may be very intelligent. So it is how you play with your Vishuddhi which is responsible. But the main thing what I am trying to tell you, that you can maneuver your Vishuddhi. The way you want to put your expression, the way you want to make your face, the way you want to suggest something, all you can maneuver. And you can keep your heart away from it. In the heart you may have poison for a person, but outwardly you may say to that person in a very sweet manner something that the person might feel impressed. But in all this behavior, pattern of behavior, you are deceiving yourself, not deceiving the another person, because your self is spirit which knows you very well. And this will go on and on for all your lives that have to come. So there is no need in any way to be artificial in your expression. There is no need to hide anything in your expression. Of course, if you don't like someone, you need not just say, I don't like you. But in that case, you have to be not also so much appreciative of the person that he is deluded into your appreciation. Now, eyes are very important, and eyes in a way are very much looked after by Vishuddhi because the muscles of the eyes are looked after by Vishuddhi. Now, the kind of muscles we have which pull our eyes, which close our eyelids and all that is very much suggestive. You must notice that there are some people who come to me, their eyes go on like this when they close their eyes. They cannot keep it shut. There are some people, when they open their eyes to me, they just keep the eyes open, they just cannot close it. Both are in trouble. The ones which are just keeping the eyes open all the time are the people having supraconscious moods. And those who are flickering their eyes are having the subconscious mood. Some people have also the habit of keeping the eyes in an angle all the time. They never see you straight, but in an angle they'll see. They think sometimes it's very fashionable. Sometimes ladies think it's a very good way of looking at people, and some of them have such eyes that they'll go on, looking and pouring their greedy eyes onto others or their lusty eyes onto others. This is the worst thing you can do to your eyes, because such people are easily can become blind. Such people might have trouble of the eyes, especially reddening of the eyes can come to such people very much, very quickly. So one has to be careful to keep the eyes very pure, the eyes of an Yogeshwara.
Let us continue to be in meditation. Let us make sure that we still have our attention, our connection on top of our head. We can all keep our right hand on top of our head. Bow down our head a bit. Stretch out our fingers and move the scalp clockwise very slowly. And in our hearts, we can say, Shri Mataji, Mother, please give us our complete self-realization. Mother, please give me my connection, my yoga. Let us raise our right hand away from our head as high as we can and try to feel if any cool or warm breeze is coming towards our right hand out of our head. We can slowly bring both of our hands on our lap. Let us take our complete attention on top of our head. Today we are going to recite a piece from a scripture written by Saint Jnaneshwara, who took his incarnation in the 12th century in the Indian state of Maharashtra. He wrote down a book called Jnaneshwari, where he described in a very descriptive way about Kundalini, about self-realization, about the chakras, and about this time where Sahaja Yoga will be spread and will be given to thousands of people at a time. He has described the self-realized souls in his book of how they will get their self-realization, their connection to the divine very easily, and they will be transforming not only their lives but the lives of everybody around them. The translation, some part of the translation says that everybody will get what they want, meaning not only just the materialistic things, but all the spiritual goals, our connection to the divine. That is what we will get if we ask for it. This piece of the scripture is actually called Pasaidan, the literal meaning of which, meaning asking for vibrations. So let us close our eyes, keep our attention on top of our head, on both of our hands spread out towards the picture of Shri Mataji. And with a pure desire in our heart, we'll ask, Mother, please let us feel these divine vibrations on our hands, in our central nervous system. And with that, let us listen to Pasaidan. आता विश्वात्मके देवी येणी वाग्यज्ञे तोषावे तोषोनी मज द्यावे पसाय दान हे जे खळांची व्यंकटी सांडो तया सत्कर्मी रती वाढो भूता परस्परे जाडो मैत्र जीवांचे दुरितांचे तिमिर जाओ विश्व स्वधर्म सूर्ये पाहो जो जेवांशील तो तेला हो प्राणी जात वर्षत सकळ मंगळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांदियाळी अनवरत भूमंडळी भेट तू भूता चला कल्पतरूंचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणींचे गाव बोलते जे अर्णव पियुषांचे चंद्रमे जे अलांछन मार्तंड जे तापहीन ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोय रे हो तू किंबहुना सर्वसुखी पूर्ण होनी तिन्ही लोकी भजिजो आदि पुरुखी अखंडित आणि ग्रंथोपजीविये विशेषी लोकीये दृष्टा दृष्ट विजये हो आवेजी येथ म्हणे श्री विश्वेश्वराव हा होईल दान पसावो येणी वरे ज्ञान देवो सुखिया झाला सुखिया झाला सुखिया झाला. Over to Andrei.
Let's allow this divine prophecy and request to make its way in our heart. Let's put our left hand on our right heart. And this is how we express benevolence. That is the source outward to the right heart. In every circumstance, in every role we play. The pure love filters through the right heart and comes out as benevolence. Just as Sri Ganeshwara said, let there be only benevolence within us and around. Let all our actions and speech and thoughts contain only benevolence. Oh, Mother, please let every cell in our being be filled with that benevolence. And we can open our eyes a little bit and put the hand back on our lap and look at Shri Mataji's photograph at her smile. Because in that smile, that essence of expression is there. If we think of her smile and we close our eyes, automatically we will start having the little smile. When we have that, our right Vishuddhi can only let benevolence come out, packed in the sweetest, most beautiful way. So we can put our left hand on our right Vishuddhi and turn the head to the left a tiny bit and meditate on that smile for a minute or two. Mother, please let the power of the divine smile of love and benevolence always power this right Vishuddhi of ours. Very good. So now let's put the left hand on the left side of our head. One of the great roles of the Vishuddhi is to absorb the ego and the conditionings. And there is a little bit of cross action as well, but the majority of the ego will be absorbed through the right Vishuddhi. Mother, please let the I fully dissolve in the power of we, flowing through our Vishuddhis. Let this I be fully replaced by the we that we are in reality. Because the ocean is we, and that is the only reality. Very good. We can put the hand back down. And lastly, let's ask, Mother, please let us feel the power of true divine friendship. First and foremost with all the realized souls, and then with the whole living sphere. The friendship that's above all barriers, all conditions, a mutual choice of pure love. Let's feel that friendship, that oneness. How joyful it is. As Sri Ganeshwara says, that is heaven. we can gently open our eyes. And raise our Kundalini into the moment. Thank you, friend.
Thank you so much, Heidi, Priyanka, and Andrei, for that beautiful, beautiful experience tonight. So we have some announcements. On Sunday, our program, day 37, will be Respect Your Self-Realization. We want to tell you also about a very special program on Tuesday. Next Tuesday is March 21st, and it is the birthday, the 100th birthday of Shri Mataji, who is the founder of Sahaja Yoga meditation and the meditation that we practice here. So day 38, we will celebrate Shri Mataji's birthday, her 100th anniversary. There are two ways that you can watch. There will be a very special program broadcast at 7 p.m. New York time. And we're going to be welcoming all of you to join that one at 7 p.m. when it's live, if you'd like to. Our program on Tuesday, the 21st, at 8:45 p.m. will be the very same broadcast, which will broadcast to you through this program. So if you can't make the 7 o'clock, we will broadcast it at 8:45. So it's going to be a very special time, and we hope everyone can join us for Tuesday, day 38, which is Shri Mataji's birthday, her 100th anniversary. It'll be wonderful. So for this program, as you know, we have program resources. Most importantly, you can request a mentor. You can also join our community, which is our WhatsApp group for spiritual messages, links, and a little bit of chatting and sharing. And also, we have all the recorded sessions on our website. So check the chat, the Zoom chat now, and you'll be getting those links. Now, we have some choices. You can either stay with us here in the main room, where we'll bring back Andrei and Heidi for some sharing. Or if you would like to, you're welcome to join a breakout room. For the breakout room, you need to type in the chat, breakout to the breakout room help, that you want to meet a Sahaja Yogi for a one-on-one. This is really great if you have personal questions, if you want an update, and if you'd like to go deeper into what you've learned this evening. If you have a question, you can type that into the Zoom chat questions. So that's another way to get your questions answered. Pardon me. So now we have our presenters back. Hello again, Andrei and Heidi. This is a fun part of the evening where we have questions for our presenters. And without delay, let's ask the very first question, which is, how have you improved in your ability to speak with the power of love since you've been practicing Sahaja Yoga? And please give some examples. So Andrei, we'll go with you first, again, alphabetically.
I think look, it's hard to say when that transition kind of happens, because everything flows, right, so naturally as time passes while we practice the meditations, and at some point you realize that you're really not behaving clearly differently, on the better side of different, and obviously I am in an area, in medicine where you have to learn to pay attention to what you say. Words are extremely heavy of meaning, of consequences, emotional consequences for people and stuff. But that softness of love, which comes naturally, at some point you realize that it's better. Certainly it's not where I started. It's a competitive environment, and being able to outtalk anybody is prized to begin with. So it's not the softness of love, definitely. And it took a few years. It took a few years, and at some point I noticed, a few years, but not 15, 4 or 5, and I realized that it's more natural to be sweet than not.
What a nice answer. Thank you, Andrei. Heidi, how have you been able to improve your ability to speak with the power of love since you came into Sahaja Yoga? And some examples.
I had a very different experience from Andrei, in that it was like right away I was became aware of how I was looking at the world and speaking and behaving. When I first met Shri Mataji, I have to preface it by saying that I was a seeker my whole life, so I've been to a lot of different groups, and paid money and the whole story. But when I met Shri Mataji, she was giving a public talk, and she always begins, she bows to the seekers, and then she started talking, and all I heard was like the first word. She said, American women are like actresses, always having to play a role. Now, no one had ever told me that in my whole life, not my own mother. I saw all the beauty queens on TV. No one ever told me that I was really taking on a lot of that and just kind of performing in my life instead of genuinely, living it and speaking it and living that truth, So that was right away, it was very shocking to me. And truth be told, it took me a little while to go back to hear Shri Mataji again, because I was used to having my ego stroked. Everyone's, oh, you're fine, peace and love, you're good. And here was someone telling me that, maybe not, maybe you need to go a little deeper. So actually it took me a year, but I went back after the year. I think it was just subtly working on me over that year. I just said, okay, I can't live like this anymore. So then when I went back the year later, I really heard, and I started meditating. And within 2 weeks, I was a huge change happened. For one thing, my marriage was very rocky at the time, because I was constantly looking to my husband to solve things, judging him. Why wasn't he my knight in shining armor, rescuing me from all these things? And after 2 weeks of meditating, I was like, oh my goodness, it's me. It's me. It's not him. And then I started to just sort of soften in the way I interacted with him. I noticed this, and it was like a miracle, because of course he responded and all the people around me responded. And it's just been a beautiful process of discovering really who I am, and being able to relate to people with that very genuine way, and then it gives them, a chance. And thank you, Andrei, for saying that about the medical profession, because it's really important that hear things about ourselves in gentle and kind ways. So it's great. We can do it, each one of us, in wherever we are in the world, whatever our profession, or be a housewife, and just do it with our husbands or our children, So there.
And definitely, because and not only I'm in the medical profession, I'm in an area, maybe the most extreme area emotionally of whole of medicine.
Which is what?
And baby intensive care.
Oh,
and having some of the powers that we've talked today about, just simply be there. People feel it. They just feel it. They might not feel it instantly, but almost always they end up in a better place. That automatic divine friendship starts to work, and that supports them, and they understand that we really are together in that's going on, and that's about as far as you can achieve.
Wow. What a beautiful discussion on this question. Thank you both. Let's go to a little bit different angle on this question. Let's give some examples of how you now respond, some examples for everyone to hear, how you respond differently in your life to situations in which you used to be maybe too critical or too judgmental, maybe some little bit more concrete examples. Andrei, if we could ask you to give us those, please, first.
Well, sometimes, it's really, as Heidi said, we sometimes seem to improve from far to close. And I think sometimes people improve from close to far, but in my case, certainly it took me a while until this wave of a new expression kind of reached to the closest, to the immediate family, and whereby you I don't know, we are not perfect. We all will say and do stuff that we would think it wasn't our brightest, right? At a later moment of reflection, and so are the people around us, and the closer they are, the more we feel, but why you, kind of stuff, and then at some point you don't do that, and for small stuff like, I don't know, are you on call today when I've been on call already yesterday, right? I'm not going to be 2 days in a row, never in the week, and you just smile, right? The reaction, because I think the really good place is when the reaction doesn't even arise, right? That there is also some intermediaries where on the inside there is a little wave, but it never makes it to the outside. So that's a good step, but right. The last step is when the little wave doesn't even happen. It's just barely a ripple, and there's nothing else, right?
Wow.
That's helpful. Heidi?
Well, that was so deep. I'm still, I was going to give other examples, but I think it is, Andrei, it is, and Sylvia, it's like this ongoing process of just peeling off these layers that I grew up in a very intellectual family, and, I was I always, I was looked at and judged by what I did, the grades I brought home, and, and then I in turn, do that to the people I love. I'm very demanding and can be very critical, and of course critical of myself. So this whole, it's just, it's a lifetime undertaking And the beauty is that, you know, I have, and we all have this unbelievable, it's more than a tool, it's just a reality to work with, to work through that barrage of criticism that comes from the world. You know, I'm in the art world, and so I've just had it up to here with being a great artist, and, you know, all the pressures, like, you know, I want to dance, I want to paint, I want, you know, we should just be able to do that, express ourselves, and not have, you know, how whatever it was. So I think the real progress is I'm definitely not as anxious as I was. You know, that criticism makes you a wreck, you know. So I'm definitely not that. And I've developed a bit of a sense of humor. And I'm having a ball in my inn. So here's a few examples. We get some characters coming into the inn, and I really have to practice turning it around and making it fun. So I'll get, like, I don't know, the very first customers we ever got, were these big hunters, you know, and they tried to sneak in all these extra guys, and they were just being really shifty, you know. And I was like, oh, you know, should I be calling the police or what? You know, and it's just like, just walk in there. And I killed them with kindness, you know. And by the time they left, they were calling me mom, and, you know, helping me take out the garbage. They were just, you know, it was great. And then the other day we had this lady, she calls and she's like, I have a dog, and the dog needs a bath 3 times a day. Can you accommodate that? I'm like, oh my God. Who gives a dog a bath 3 times a day? But I decided, we'll try it, we'll work it out. She came and she was just the nicest. She was so happy. No one else would put her up. But I put her up. It was a little dog. And anyhow, we ended up having a wonderful time. And I meet these great people. So yeah, that shift out of the anxiety of all the criticism to just allowing, you know, just keeps welling up.
These real life examples are so helpful. Thank you, Heidi. So let's go into our last question then. For what cleansing techniques, what clearing techniques do you use on your Right Vishuddhi to make these improvements that you're talking about?
This time we should let Heidi speak first.
Oh, should we? Okay, then that sounds like a good Right Vishuddhi.
Well, I'm hoping that the doctor will give more technical advice. I like actual Sahaja clearing techniques, although I do use foot soaks and salt gargles and salt. I rub salt and olive oil on my gums at night as part. But I think for me, art and dancing and writing and drawing and expressing in as many ways I can what's going on in my life and in my heart. So I encourage everyone, really, it's actually not elaborate. You can just meditate, then put on your favorite music and dance for 5 minutes. And it feels wonderful. It's exercise, and you're, and if you can do it with your friends or do it on Zoom and do it with a bunch of people, it's even better. Just movement is so much an expression, you know, our hands or anything, you know, when you're cooking, anything you do, it just clears your Vishuddhi. Just allow it to bubble up and create. So that's how I feel. What about you?
Wow. Beautiful. Andrei?
The sky, I love looking at the sky. I always did since I was a child. And obviously this is one of the things that clears the Vishuddhi. And a little bit of massage, you know, self-inflicted. And if we do it with a little bit of ghee or butter, it helps a bit more, especially if the ghee or the butter are vibrated a little bit. They've sat in front of the photograph for a little bit. And then the key is it is on the right side. So when we cool the liver, everything feels better. So lots of ice on the liver. I do lots of ice on the liver. I have done for decades. And that's just the way life is. It can't be any other way for what I do with it. And just remembering to smile.
I wanted to thank you for that too, because
I got a little older. I really, really, and it was from looking at Shri Mataji's photograph, really, where, we feel so relieved to look at her smiling photograph. And then some day just struck me that the point is we should be able to do that, right? So from that day onwards, in my humble experience, it works great to smile back.
I want to thank you for that too.
Go ahead.
And just when in the meditation, when you said to smile, I just like, what a simple and powerful. I'm going to use it a lot now in my meditation. It's like getting too serious. Just smile. Thank you for that.
Shall we just close our eyes and smile inside for just a few minutes then, and invite everyone to join us?
So maybe we can have again the meditation photo, at least the same.
Yes, maybe we can ask for that. Great. Let's just close our eyes for a moment. And maybe, like Heidi suggested earlier, bring both hands to the heart. And maybe let that smile start in the heart. And then it naturally comes to the face. When we're ready, we can put our hands back on our lap. And let's gently open our eyes without thinking. With our hands open, just see how we feel. Absorbing that smile. When we're ready, we can close our eyes again for another moment or two. And before we end, let's bring our right hand to our heart, our left heart. And desire that smile, that goodness within, joy within, can always manifest in our attention. With that, thank you everyone for joining. Let's bring our two hands together in front of our center heart and hope that this joy transmits to the whole world. Relaxing everyone with a smile in their heart and on their faces. Thank you again, Heidi and Andrei, and to everyone who's joined us. This concludes our formal program for this evening. There'll be a little bit more music for those who want to stay a little longer, enjoying their smile inside.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Namaste.